I'm Mariska Fernandez from Tribute Entertainment, and we are here today with the lovely Sonequa Martin-Green from Star Trek Discovery. So first of all, congratulations, season 3. How does it feel?
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Especially because of, what season 3 entails. It's very exciting.
So did you ever think when you first started with season 1 that this was the timeline, or this is the time jump?
Absolutely not. It shocked me. It shocked me, but I just thought it was such a genius move. I'm so grateful for the writers for doing that and the producers for deciding that we would do this.
Right.
Because being able to contribute to this legacy in this way, being able to create canon anew, it just means everything.
Alex said that Michael goes through a lot of changes, and she takes on this huge responsibility of taking the crew through the timeline. So tell us about that.
It's true. It's true. There was a lot of healing that took place over the course of season 2. There were a lot of things that I was holding on to as Burnham that I was able to finally let go of. And it's funny because when you're dealing with trauma, when you're dealing with guilt and shame, they're very hard to let go of. And then you have to ask yourself, what replaces it? And who am I now if I'm not driven by these things? And, it was sort of one by one, Spock, the forgiveness of Spock and the restoration there, the restoration with Tyler, the finding out that, Burnham didn't cause her parents' death, being reunited with her mother, all of these things, it really led to some deep excavating and realizing, okay, I have to find something else, to sort of be driven by. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing and a very inspiring journey that a lot of people who have trauma can relate to, I hope. And so you see that continue in season 3.
So with her going through so much, how did you personally tap into that headspace?
The beautiful thing about the way this show is written is that all you have to do is just believe it, and that's certainly the way that I work as an actor is, I live in the parameters of the story and I let my imagination run free within those parameters. I don't use my own life or anything like that. And so all I have to do is dive in and believe and, create my memories as specifically as I can and believe them. And that is a testament to good writing as well.
What do you hope to explore as a character moves forward, or even as she evolves?
I think what will be a continuous exploration is the duality between humanity and Vulcan. And I think that you see a lot of emotionality in Burnham in season 2, and that's because, it's sort of like a pot of boiling water. This is what I've likened it to, at least, a pot of boiling water with a lid on it. Eventually it's going to spill over, and then when it does, it just flows like this. It's kind of like a waterfall. And I feel like that's what happened in season 2, is things had been capped for so long, and then the cap was taken off, and then it all rushed out. And so now I'm looking forward to continuing to find that balance between, who I am and how, the nature-nurture situation, who I am versus what I was taught, how I can use these things and how they can work in tandem so I can find this sort of synergy. That's what I'll be. That's a journey that I think will always be there for Burnham.
What about season 2, towards the end, saying goodbye to so many characters? I can't imagine what it must have been like.
Thank you for asking that. That's one of the hardest things because we are so close and we're such a family as a company. I could cry talking about it. I've been joking about how often I cry all day, and nobody wants to see that anymore. But we said goodbye to so many people that had been there from the very beginning, that were very much a part of building this story from the ground up. And, Mary Chieffo, Shazad Latif, to say the least, James Frayne, it was, and that's just 3 of them. It was very, very hard. A lot of tears.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but they left a mark that'll never be erased, that's for sure.
Discovery has so much going on, and I've been telling people this all day, that has quantum physics, there's the wormhole, the time crystals. So how much do you need as an actor to grasp this in order to play your part?
Thank you for that question. And Sonequa, I do need to know. I need to know. Now, I know I'm not going to understand all of quantum physics because I'm not a quantum physicist. But I do find myself in the rabbit hole of the internet. late at night, to the point where the words are dizzying, because I do need at least a conceptual understanding or a general understanding of what it is that I'm talking about. Because as Burnham, I know these things like the back of my hand, and I have to be able to say them from my heart. So I go on a lot of rabbit holes, and quantum mechanics and quantum physics especially. It's never ending.
Yeah,
it just
imagine.
keeps going. You know, you think you get it, you
Yeah.
think you get something, and then it opens up all these other doors, and it's fascinating to me, which I appreciate that it's fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to know a little bit.
Doug said that one of the most, I think the hardest part of this entire acting career is memorizing dialogue. That's the
Doug is
hardest
so
thing.
funny.
So, do you agree with that? Is that the similar thing for you as well, or?
You know, it's Doug is so funny. He talks about that all the time, and he's so awesome with, you know, let him tell it. He never knows what he's gonna say, and it's just not true. He's brilliant. But for me, it actually isn't the memorization. For me, the memorization is actually the easiest part. For me, it's about creating the life, and specifically the memories. That's where, you know, most of my energy has to go, is making these memories as specific as the memories that I have as Sonequa. You know, and that takes a lot of meditation, and you know what I mean? It takes a lot of time to actually build memories, and which is, when I say memories, that's everything. That's relationship, that's needs and wants and desires and fears and all of that. All of that, I believe, is in memories. And so that's what's toughest for me.
With Star Trek Discovery, characters are constantly discovering about themselves, about the season. So what have you as your character discovered this season, and personally and professionally as well? What have you discovered about yourself?
Well, I think what I've discovered as Burnham, specifically in season 3, is something that I was just speaking about, which is, you know, who I really am, not being driven by these sort of negative. Well, they're not sort of negative; they're very negative. Guilt and shame are very negative. But finding out who I really am, what I really want, what really drives me, and being able to be free in that way, and getting closer at least to the balance between these two very huge parts of me, and finding how, you know, how there are strengths in both, and how everything that has happened to me has been absolutely necessary for the moment at hand. And so that's a huge thing that I discover over the course of the season as Burnham. And then I think as Sonequa, I just continue to discover the magic of this, you know, and I'm grateful that's not a one-time thing. It's not a two-time thing. It continues to happen daily, where I discover the depth of the magic of this.
That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of season 3 as well as the rest of the seasons. But thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
This pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much.